Hi everyone, welcome to Podglish Everyday English. I'm Emma.
And I'm Jake. We're here to help you learn English by listening to natural conversations about everyday life.
Today we're talking about restaurants and eating out. It's one of my favorite topics because I love trying new places to eat.
Same here. Though Emma and I have very different eating habits, so this should be interesting.
That's right, I'm vegan, which means I don't eat meat, fish, eggs, or dairy products. Jake eats everything.
Pretty much, yeah. So let's start with the types of restaurants we like. Emma, what's your favorite kind of restaurant?
Well, obviously I look for places with good vegan options. I really love Mediterranean restaurants because they have lots of fresh vegetables, hummus, and grain bowls. Asian restaurants are great too. Thai, Vietnamese, Chinese. They often use tofu and lots of vegetables. What about you, Jake?
I love Italian restaurants. There's something about a good pizza or pasta dish that just makes me happy. And steakhouses. Definitely steakhouses.
Speaking of Italian restaurants, I remember this one terrible experience I had at this fancy Italian place downtown. I was so excited because they said they had vegan options on the menu.
Oh no, what happened? Did they not actually have vegan options?
Well, they had one vegan pasta dish listed, but when I ordered it, the waiter told me they were out of vegan pasta. So I asked if they could just make regular pasta with tomato sauce and vegetables. The waiter looked at me like I was speaking a foreign language.
That's so frustrating. You'd think pasta with tomato sauce would be simple enough. Did they figure it out eventually?
Eventually, yes, but it took forever. And then when it came out, I'm pretty sure they used butter in the sauce anyway because it tasted really rich. I was too polite to send it back, but I learned to be more specific about my dietary needs after that.
I had the opposite problem at this steakhouse once on my birthday. I ordered a medium rare steak, and when it came out, it was completely well done, like burnt. I've never been good at complaining in restaurants, but this was my birthday dinner, and I paid like $40 for the steak.
Oh, wow, for your birthday? Did you send it back? I would have been so disappointed.
I finally worked up the courage to call the waiter over. I felt so awkward about it, but he was actually really apologetic. They brought me a new steak right away and didn't charge me for it. It taught me that it's okay to speak up when something's wrong.
That's so important. I think a lot of people, myself included, feel nervous about complaining in restaurants. But if you're polite about it, most servers are happy to help fix the problem.
Exactly. There are some polite ways to do it. Like, instead of saying, "This steak is terrible," you can say, "Excuse me, I ordered this medium rare, but it seems a bit more cooked than I expected. Would it be possible to get a new one?" It's much more diplomatic.
And it's good to know other restaurant etiquette too. Like in America, we usually wait to be seated by a host or hostess, and we tip around 18 to 20%. But in other countries, the customs can be really different.
Oh, definitely. When I went to Japan last year, I had no idea what I was doing. In some places, you're supposed to slurp your noodles loudly. It's actually considered polite. And in many European countries, they don't expect big tips like we do here.
That's fascinating. I love learning about different food cultures. Speaking of different dining experiences, what do you think about all these food delivery apps that are so popular now? Do you use DoorDash or Uber Eats?
Oh, I'm totally guilty of using them way too much. Especially during the pandemic, it became such a habit. Sometimes I'll order from a restaurant that's literally 2 blocks away from my apartment. It's so convenient, but also kind of expensive of all the fees.
I know what you mean. The convenience is amazing, but you're right about the cost. Between the delivery fee, service fee, tip for the driver, and marked up menu prices, a $15 meal becomes like $25. And the food often arrives cold or soggy.
True, and you miss out on the whole social experience. There's something special about sitting down with friends or family, talking, sharing food. When you order delivery, you're usually just eating alone while watching Netflix or something.
Exactly. And I think that's one thing we really missed during the pandemic, those social dining experiences. Going out to eat isn't just about the food, it's about connecting with people. Some of my best conversations have happened over long dinners with friends.
Same here. And going to restaurants with people with different tastes, like you and me, can be really educational. I never would have tried Ethiopian food if my coworker hadn't invited me. Have you noticed how many new types of cuisine are becoming popular?
Oh yes, Korean food is huge right now. Korean barbecue, bibimbap, Korean fried chicken, and I've been seeing a lot more Middle Eastern restaurants too. 10 years ago, you could barely find good hummus anywhere. Now there are whole restaurants dedicated to Middle Eastern food.
And all these fusion restaurants, Korean Mexican fusion, Indian Chinese, Japanese Italian, some combinations sound weird but actually taste amazing. I tried ramen burgers last month, basically a burger with ramen noodles instead of a bun. It was surprisingly good.
That sounds interesting. And I've noticed more plant-based options everywhere too. Even fast food places like Burger King and White Castle have plant-based burgers now. It's made dining out so much easier for vegans like me.
That's great. And what about ghost kitchens? Have you heard of those? They're restaurants that only exist for delivery, no actual dining room. Some of them operate out of existing restaurant kitchens and just use delivery apps. It's like a whole new business model.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. Technology is really changing how we eat. You know what's funny though? With all these modern food trends and delivery apps, sometimes I miss the simplicity of just walking into a local diner and knowing exactly what to expect.
I know exactly what you mean. There's this 24-hour diner near my place that I've been going to for years. Same menu, same waitress who knows my order, same coffee that's probably been sitting there too long. But there's something comforting about that consistency.
That's so sweet. You know, speaking of memorable dining experiences, I'll never forget my first time at a traditional Ethiopian restaurant. You eat with your hands using this spongy bread called injera, and everything is shared from big communal platters. It was such a fun social way to eat.
Oh, that's the place I was talking about. My coworker took me. At first, I was nervous about eating with my hands, but the staff was so patient and showed us how to do it properly. And the spices were incredible. I'd never tasted anything like it.
That's exactly what I love about trying new restaurants. It's not just about the food, it's about experiencing different cultures and stepping out of your comfort zone. Even when things go wrong, like my Italian restaurant disaster, you learn something new. Right, very different from my choices.
But you know what? Even at Italian places, you can usually find something vegan, like pasta with tomato sauce or a nice salad.
That's true. Many restaurants are getting better at having plant-based options, but I still have to ask a lot of questions when I order.
Yeah, like what?
I have to ask if they use butter in the bread, if the pasta sauce has cheese, if the vegetables are cooked in butter or oil. Sometimes it's a bit embarrassing, but I need to know.
I can imagine. For me, ordering is pretty simple. I just look at the menu and pick something that sounds good. Last week, I went to this new burger place and got a bacon cheeseburger with fries.
That sounds terrible to me.
I know. But what do you usually order when we go out together?
Well, it depends on the restaurant. At Mexican places, I love getting vegetable fajitas with beans and rice. No cheese or sour cream, of course.
Right.
At Thai restaurants, I get pad thai with tofu or green curry with vegetables. And at Indian places, there are so many lentil and chickpea dishes. Indian food is actually really vegan friendly.
That's interesting. I never really thought about that. I usually just get chicken curry or lamb when we go to Indian restaurants.
Exactly. So, what do you think are the pros and cons of different types of restaurants?
Good question. Well, fast food restaurants are really convenient and cheap, but the food isn't always healthy.
And they usually don't have many options for people like me.
True. But some fast food places are getting better. I saw that McDonald's has a veggie burger now.
Yeah, but I still prefer going to sit-down restaurants. The atmosphere is nicer and you can take your time to enjoy your meal.
Absolutely. The service is usually better too. The waiters can answer your questions about the food, which is probably really helpful for you.
Exactly. The downside is that sit-down restaurants are more expensive and you have to wait longer for your food.
Right. And you have to tip the waiter, which adds to the cost. What about fancy restaurants? Have you ever been to a really expensive place?
A few times for special occasions, the food is usually amazing and the presentation is beautiful. But honestly, I sometimes leave feeling hungry because the portions are so small.
Yeah, exactly. And you're paying like $50 for a tiny piece of fish and three vegetables arranged in a fancy way.
But the experience can be really nice though. The ambiance, the service, the wine selection, it's more about the whole experience than just the food.
That's true. I took my girlfriend to a fancy French restaurant for her birthday last month. The food was incredible, but we were there for 3 hours.
Wow, 3 hours. Did she have vegan options?
Actually, she's not vegan, but they did have a vegetable tasting menu. The chef made all these creative dishes with vegetables I'd never heard of.
That sounds amazing. I love when chefs get creative with vegetables. So many people think vegan food is boring, but it can be really exciting and flavorful.
I'm starting to realize that. Before I met you, I thought vegan food was just salad and tofu.
That's what everyone thinks, but there's so much variety. Have you ever tried jackfruit? It has a texture similar to pulled pork.
No, but that sounds interesting. Maybe I should be more adventurous when we eat together.
You should. And you know what's funny? Sometimes I miss the social aspect of sharing food. When you order meat and I order vegan, we can't really share dishes.
Yeah, I never thought about that. Sharing food is a big part of eating out with friends and family.
Exactly. But I've learned to find restaurants where we can both be happy, places that have good options for both of us.
Like that Middle Eastern place we went to last week. I had the lamb kebab and you had the falafel platter.
Yes, and we could share the hummus and pita bread. That was perfect.
So, what do you think is the most important thing when choosing a restaurant?
For me, it's definitely having good options that I can actually eat. But also, I like places with a nice atmosphere where you feel comfortable and relaxed.
I agree about the atmosphere, and good service is really important to me. If the staff is friendly and helpful, it makes the whole experience better.
Absolutely, especially when you have to ask questions about ingredients like I do. Patient and knowledgeable servers make such a difference.
And value for money is important too. I don't mind paying more for quality, but I want to feel like I'm getting my money's worth.
Definitely. Well, this has been a really interesting conversation. I think it shows how different people can have very different needs when it comes to dining out.
Yeah, and how restaurants are trying to accommodate all kinds of dietary preferences these days. It's getting easier for everyone to find something they like.
That's true. Well, that's all for today's episode of Podglish Everyday English. Thanks for listening.
Thanks, everyone. Next week, we'll be talking about shopping and different types of stores. Until then, keep practicing your English.
Bye.
Bye.